Thank you very much, Walt. You know, this summer has been a mess for gardeners. In June, it was stale, it was dry, and then we come to July and we get near record rainfall. What's a gardener to do? I got the answer for you. Dave Frerish from Frerish Farms in Warren. How are you, my friend?
Good morning.
That about sum it up?
That's about sums it up. 28 days in June with no sun or clouds. Record-breaking July. Absolutely awful. A lot of the nutrients have washed out of the soil. They need to be rejuvenated. Here we have a very healthy, happy tomato. Two beautiful ripe tomatoes on it.
Right.
Here we have one here that's suffering from nutrient deficiency.
Yeah, you know what? Let me turn this around. Rick,
And this is what happens.
Can you get a shot of that?
The bottom of the tomatoes turn black when they're suffering from nutrient deficiency, especially calcium. We have a simple, easy solution. It's Epsom salts. You take 2 tablespoons per gallon, water your plant 2 or 3 times a week, and before you know it, it'll look like this. Plus add a little bit more fertilizer.
Now you got to get that Epsom salt in there before it starts to rot like this.
Right. Well, what will happen, those tomatoes are all done, but all the new little ones coming will all be fine once you eliminate the deficiency. And also, this is a great time to, all the empty spots in your garden, you may have lost stuff or you may have harvested it.
Right.
Fall vegetables. You could lettuces, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, beets, Swiss chard. You could even plant some beans.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of things you can do. There's plenty of time, not for your long stuff. And don't give up on your tomatoes and peppers and eggplants because they're all running about a month late.
You know, we're talking about all the vegetables, but a lot of people are also want to know what can they do with the plants that have been affected by this.
Right, well, that's what you have to be careful of. If you find any black spots on the stems of your tomato plants, discard them. Don't put them into your mulch pile because you have a strong chance it's Phytophthora, which is the Irish potato famine blight.
Mm-hmm.
You want to either put them in your trash, send them to the central landfill, or if you're going to bury them about 2 feet deep. Because if you mulch them, you're going to return it to your soil next year and you're going to have a problem. So if you see any black spots on the stems on your tomatoes, you've got Phytophthora, and you need to do something immediately about it.
What's the best thing you can plant now or the best thing that you can save now?
Basically, if it's just a nutrient deficiency on your tomatoes and you don't have any black spots, use the Epsom salt.
The Epsom salt, let's show this.
Right. Use the fertilizer, 2 tablespoons per gallon.
2 tablespoons per gallon.
2 or 3 times a week for about 3 weeks should correct the deficiency.
Why is that? It's just the salt in there that does that?
It's the, whatever chemicals are in that Epsom salt make up the deficiencies that you're suffering.
And what about the rest of, as I said, some of the planting? I know some of the planting at my house is taking a hit, trying to get it back, and also de-weeding. You know,
right.
When's the right time to start weeding again?
Well, you should be weeding right along, and also a very good thing to do is to keep cultivating your soil because what's happened, the soil is so saturated that it needs to dry out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You can take a scratcher or a hoe. If you can keep aerating your soil, you'll find that you'll get an improvement in the plant health. But when the roots are all soggy, it makes the plants really hurt because it kills a lot of the roots and they don't breathe, and the roots need to breathe. So cultivation is another great thing you can do. Plus, I would give it a little additional fertilizer because really with all this rain, most of it has really washed away.
Well, that's some super advice, especially on those tomatoes, Dave. That's a nice trick I'd never heard of before. Dave Frerish from Frerish Farms in Warren, always a pleasure to have you by.
Thank you.
Thank you for the advice.
Well, you're very welcome.
Lily, back to you.
All right, Vince, thanks.